You are here because the outside world rejects you.
I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice.
Come on, let's get nuts.
This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
I made a money.
Come on, Peter Tingle.
Here we go.
What's up? What's up? What up?
Welcome to an all-new Nerds to Men. I am Brad Reed.
I'm your boy Cameo.
And we are hanging out this Sunday watching...
I low-key almost forgot what we were doing.
Oh my gosh, like you got a camera in front of you.
All
and Ryan Sheehan, thanks for tuning in. Ramiz, thank you. Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Cameo, I got a joke on my nephew the other day and he totally didn't even get it.
Oh, really? What happened?
I was like, hey, tomorrow when I come over, don't forget the up dog. And he goes, what up dog? And I was like, nothing. What's up with you? He was like, what?
Oh
What are you even talking about? I was like, you ruined it. You ruined it, little kid. But
Kids ruin everything.
I had to explain to him what up dog means, what word means, you know, because I say that a lot, like as a, you know, like you say something and I'm agreeing with you, or I think, or whatever. It's just kind of one of those in between words, really, where you're like, word. But he didn't get that either.
Yeah, I usually use word too. Some people be like, why do you say that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm stuck in the 90s. Jeez, leave me alone.
Well, we talked about that last week, like homeboy, home skillet.
I saw a funny meme yesterday where, oh my goodness, it was the 90s Power Rangers. So like Jason, Trini, Billy, Zach, and Kimberly.
Yeah.
Well, the meme said, the weatherman said it's going to be in the 90s or dressed for the 90s. And so it's them. It's the original Power Rangers in their 90s clothes.
Oh, that's funny.
It was hilarious. I was like, I like it.
That's funny. That's good. Cameo, did you get your stimmy yet? Your stimulus?
Yes, I did.
You did?
I
did splurge a little. I did splurge.
I see that. I see you got some more figures on there.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't even the half of it. I've gone crazy, but these were a couple that I've really been wanting for a while, and you know, they're not cheap. So the first one's the Batman, the Joker from the animated series. But check it out, Cameo. So like it comes with, you know, like a thing about it.
That's cool.
This is number 713 of 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah. And then because these are like they're half scale resin busts from Diamond Select, and they're called Heroes in 3D is like, I guess the whatever. I was gonna open box them here on the air, but then I was like, man, that's just gonna be boring of me like tearing through the crap. And then also I've got it all over the studio now, so I need you to come over and vacuum, please.
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Ramez says, spoil yourself.
Yeah,
That's what you should do.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm stimulating the economy, right? Somebody's getting this money.
Yeah. Right.
And then the Wolverine one, 613 of 1,000. And man, like I told you, I've been getting into like the statues a little better more because A, they stand up, so they're really good on the set because everything keeps falling over on me. And two, like, you know, I'm not going to play with these action figures. And so like, I find these to be a lot more detailed. This one's just, oh my gosh, you could hit somebody with that and hurt them.
Yeah.
If somebody
Really
rushes in the
somebody's eye
studio
out.
on me right now, I'm going to be like, that's the one I'm going to pick up and beat them with. Cause that one's heavy, but my nephews, they like to come in here and they're like, ooh, let me play with the statues. I'm like, no.
You can't play with those.
No, you can play with the pop figures all day long. So,
but not my babies.
No. So, the Power Rangers meme, Ramiz says.
Yeah.
That's
And
one you were talking
streetwear.
about.
Yeah.
Nice. So,
oh, go ahead.
no. You go ahead.
Okay. So I know we're going to be talking about this a little bit later, So I'm just going to wait until then. So we'll just leave it the way it is right now.
Okay, you're saving it. You're saving it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what I was going to mention is all the places that you can get the podcast real quick. You know, you can get them on Google, Spotify. I don't think we're on Pandora, though. Somebody was asking about Pandora podcasts, and I was like, ooh, I didn't even know they do. I didn't even know Pandora was still around, to be honest. I thought everybody was like on Spotify now.
Or like Apple iTunes and stuff. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but I guess Pandora is still around, and they do podcasting. So we'll look into that for whomever asked me. But yeah, so all those places. But
we are not on Twitch yet. For me,
we do have a Twitch account because somebody was trying to impersonate us. So I had to like make one and do all that. But Ramiz, do you watch on Twitch? Because I've been thinking like I might as well upload it to Twitch. I don't know if we can like right now with my setup. I don't think we can live stream to both Facebook and Twitch. And I like to be on Facebook for all the interaction and whatnots. Okay.
Oh, he said call him Remy.
Remy
LeBeau.
Yeah. So yeah. Let me know if you want me to upload them on Twitch. I will do that. What's up, Terry? Terry's watching. So I like it. Everybody's chilling at the house. I was chilling all weekend because I got the second vaccine on Friday. And it wrecked me.
How you feel?
It wrecked me.
Really?
I mean, yeah, my blood sugar kept going up and down, like real bad. Like, whew, it was crazy. And then yesterday, I was like nauseous for a while and just kind of, and I laid down and I got up, felt better. And then today, I just kind of been, kind of like in between, like a little bit of kind of feeling like a little clammy,
Yeah.
And then feeling okay. And like right now, I'm feeling like a little. Yeah, but you know how it is. You gotta keep going, do the show.
Yeah,
for the people, must go on. For the people. But anyway, patreon.com/dopepodz is another place to get our podcast, and it's the best place, in my opinion, because you get it ad free. So all the other places we mentioned, you can listen to it, but you're going to hear ads popped in as you go. Which thank you for tuning in, because I know people do tune into that because we get a little check at the end of each month, which basically goes back to them. Like they pay us and then I turn around and send it right back to them as my payment for the service. So they know how to do this. They've got the system rigged, but people listen to the ads and it helps us because it does cost money to do all this. But if you got $1 to spare every month, or 12, if you just want to, get it all out, then go to patreon.com/dopepodz. That's me and Cameo's podcast network of one. But that's where you go and you can get it ad free. We've been uploading a bunch of the shows. I need to get like more of the videos uploaded too, but really you can get those on YouTube and whatever here on Facebook. So the idea is you go there for $1 a month. You get all the podcasts, no ads. And then we're also going to have a t-shirt coming up soon for those of you who are signing up. So get on it. It's only $1. Cameo.
Yeah. Remy said that we should check out some of his friends. Big Time Garbage, if I'm reading this correctly. It's a group of comedians from Detroit.
Oh, nice.
On Twitch.
Nice.
So
I'll check them out.
Yeah. I like to laugh. I like to ha.
All right, so we got a few things to talk about. We got PandemPicks later on. We're going to talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but first we got some nerd updates to throw your way. And Cameo, I'm kind of disappointed with some of the nerd updates today because one of them is the newest Mortal Kombat movie that we've been anxiously awaiting. Move back a week.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out, a couple weeks?
Yeah, like in the middle of April. And now it's been moved back only a week, but I just think it's stupid because they were the thing I heard was they're moving it back a week because
of Godzilla, right?
Yeah, Godzilla and Kong. They're trying to give it a little breathing room. But like I don't get that because it's streaming. I feel like most people who are like anxious to watch that movie are going to watch it this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Or long before the middle of April when Mortal Kombat was supposed to come out. Like,
right.
I don't think that, I don't know.
I know a lot of people, or I would say a lot. There are a few people that I saw on my timeline that actually went to the theaters to watch it.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about the
weekend.
movie a little bit more. And because, I mean, it did great.
Mhm.
But I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right, Remy. People need content, you know, because
Yeah.
I
don't understand if you're going to release something on a streaming service, then release it. I can understand if it's, you know, there's differences between like movies and shows because shows have, you know, more than one episode or whatever. But if you're not going to release everything at once when it's supposed to be released, then, you know, like why even say it's going to be on a streaming service? Just put it in the theater, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it will be at the theater too. And maybe
I mean, I'm just saying there's like that new, who's the main guy from Better Call Saul? I can't remember his name, but he has a movie out called Nobody.
Yeah.
That's only in theaters. So if you're going to release, like WB said that they're going to release all their movies on HBO Max this year, then release them when you say they're going to release them.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you right now, people are going to keep rewatching that film, whether I don't know how, if they take that into consideration, on how well it's going to do or what. Because I tell you what, like my kids, what was it? Godzilla came out. They're still watching it as of right now. So we watched it a couple times, but you know, it's a movie. Just release it when you say you're going to release it and call it a day.
Now, is Mortal Kombat released in the theaters too?
I think so. I think everybody.
I guess I could see why they want to push it back on that account. If it's for the streaming, though, that makes no sense to me. Remy says movies are scared to go up against each other these days. It used to be a Hollywood flex to debut the same week. It used to be also like they would have like copycat movies come out at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
So, but he's right, you know, like, but they are, especially with these superhero movies and stuff, they're like, oh no, we don't want any competition. But again, I feel like with the Godzilla and Kong movie, if they want people to go see it in theaters, then maybe, because they're going to only want to go to movies they really, really want to see right now at the theater. In my opinion, that would be me. Like I'd go see Justice League on the IMAX right now.
Right.
But I probably wouldn't go for Godzilla and Kong. I'll just stream that. Kong versus Godzilla. So that's kind of my opinion on it. So I man, it sucks. Again, it's only a week, and you know, I guess that's not a big problem. But so many, I feel like a lot more people that I know, including me, were looking forward to the Mortal Kombat movie a lot more than Godzilla Kong versus Godzilla. Is it Godzilla versus Kong or Kong versus Godzilla?
Yeah, Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, Godzilla comes first?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Or does it is it just whoever you're rooting for?
No, I mean, I guess you could do it either way, but the actual title's Godzilla versus Kong.
Got you. Okay. And then the second nerd update we're going to talk about today is basically two wrapped up in one. But Warner Brothers is out there just canceling away. And then this one, again, this comes back to the streaming argument. And the reason that I've been hearing that they canceled New Gods, which was a movie, I forget the director's name, Ava DuVernay? Okay.
DuVernay, yeah.
And Tom King was writing it, who wrote Mr. Miracle and, you know, The Vision and all that. And then Batman recently, but we all loved Mr. Miracle. And of course, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, they were all going to be in this New Gods movie, along with Darkseid. And apparently the reason they're saying they're not going to do it now is because Darkseid showed up in the Snyder Cut. So I'm like, Batman, so that's like, Batman is in the Batman and the Justice League. You know, like,
yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Yeah. So we're just not going to do it?
Yeah.
Just because of that?
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I'm going to slide in a third nerd update on this too, though. Supposedly they're saying that Robert Pattinson is they're going to reform the Justice League, I guess. They're going to retool it. But Wonder Woman, Mara, and Aquaman are the only ones who are going to remain.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even Shazam?
They didn't say Shazam.
Huh.
And I'm wondering now if we're going to get another Shazam movie or if they're just like, we're done with Shazam. Because I liked that movie.
Shazam was amazing.
I liked that movie. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It was fun. So they're canceling that one, The New Gods, which some people might not, they might be like, I don't care about that because that's way far into DC. Like, But again, if you liked Mr. Miracle, this would have been dope with Tom King
if you
writing.
still have not read that book, you need to go check it out.
Yeah, you do need to. If you're into comic books or graphic novels, any of those things, read that one, Mr. Miracle.
Yeah, because one of my PandemPicks is going to be a comic book. So.
Oh, dope. Sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of sad. Now, James Wan, who did Aquaman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also like horror movies before that, including The Conjuring.
And I think the Fast and Furious movies too. Some of the Fast
I think he
and Furious
did one
movies.
or two, yeah. But he was going to make an Aquaman spinoff called The Trench. Now, this one, I'm not saying I'm going to extremely miss out on this one, but it did kind of sound cool because, you think about The Trench. It was going to be kind of like a James Wan horror type movie, but set in the Aquaman universe. And for me, that's like, okay, I kind of like that.
I could do that. Because it probably could be like, like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker film where it could just be a standalone movie.
Yeah. Well,
so,
and of course, they're talking about another Joker film now where there might be more Jokers added to the Joaquin Phoenix, which I'm like, just let that one be a one and done. Just let it be one and done. I would be totally fine with that.
I'm cool with that because, it ended the way it should have ended. It's not like something that you would have to think on. That's what I hate about some movies where it just leaves an open ending and there isn't a sequel to it.
Yeah.
This one, you kind of know what's gonna transpire after. So
yeah. Well, and then
I liked
also,
how it ended.
like, okay, so if they were going to say, okay, well, we're going to integrate Joaquin Phoenix in to the Robert Pattinson world, I'd be like, okay, that's fine, I guess. But they're saying Robert Pattinson will be a different Earth Batman, and that's how they're going to explain him showing up, and hanging out with the Wonder Woman and Aquaman from the movies we're already seeing. If any of this shakes out to be true, I feel like everything with DC is just so up in the air right now. Like you can't count on hardly anything.
Right.
But yeah, so those are canceled, and then that Joker movie, like I say. That doesn't intrigue me, and I love the Joker. But see, that's the thing about that Joker movie is like, okay, with a sequel, the first movie, they were ripping off movies left and right. That it was a tribute, yeah, but it was also like very obvious that, the King of Comedy, and then they put Robert De Niro in the movie. And then it's such a, if you watch the King of Comedy, you're like, oh, wow, this is very, it is very, there's a lot of similarities. So, they did it on purpose. So, like, which ones are they going to rip off next? Goodfellas?
All right.
Do a Zack Snyder, Martin Scorsese mix up and rip off The Irishman and make it 3.5 hours,
Right.
Is that the plan? So I don't know. I'm just not, I don't know. Like, we've talked about that Joker movie too, because I like it, but I don't like watching it over and over. It just doesn't.
I think it's one of those movies that if you've seen it once, you're you've seen it a billion times.
Yeah, I agree.
But also too, it's one of those movies that I wouldn't say really a glutton for punishment, but that's what I kind of feel like that movie is. If you watch it over and over and over, basically you're just beating it into your head on, basically how society actually is when it comes to people that don't have any money. And, healthcare and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Like, again, for the time that it came out, it was really good. But I don't know. And also for all the people who are still saying that Jared Leto in this new Snyder cut is the best Joker Batman interaction they've ever seen. I'm still kind of like, well, first of all, they were not even in the scene together. They were filmed separately, so that's funny. Yeah. But I mean, not a big deal, but because it was like that with De Niro and Pacino in Heat. But they, I don't know, man. I still can't say that. I got to see a whole movie with Batman and Jared Leto. You know?
Yeah.
As
yeah.
Joker.
I mean, what was there? Like you said, their interaction good. Yeah, it was good. But this is a apocalyptic Batman and Joker.
Yeah.
It's not like in their prime when they were fighting each other. So their dynamic would have been totally different back then than it was now.
Yeah.
Or than it would be in that instant. But yeah, I mean, you can't say Jared Leto was the best Joker of all time because of this 5-minute scene.
No, the best Joker of all time to me has got to be Jack Nicholson, just because I don't know. That was like the first movie, and like I love Jack Nicholson anyway. I love that movie. So, like I'll never find anything wrong with that movie, the first Batman with Keaton.
No, I agree. I mean,
but
we all know who my favorite Joker is.
But Ledger, man, he was scary. Like, he was great, and I love him as the Joker so much. And his interaction with Batman, like when they're sitting in the jail together, and like the scene where he goes in and he like kills that dude by shoving the pencil up his nose, like you want to.
Oh, in his eye.
Yeah, his eye. Yeah.
Let me show you a magic trick.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. Like, Jared Leto doesn't come close still, not yet. I mean, he might in the future, but definitely not yet. So yeah, there's that. But like I say, I want to see more Jared Leto as the Joker. I just. I can't get on board for that was the best Joker interpretation or interaction or any of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
no, I feel you.
That's where I'm going with that. All right, Cameo. Let's get into the main event of the show.
Ooh, okay.
Spoilers for everybody that are watching, streaming, all that, listening. If you're on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. We are talking about The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 3. And again, spoilers. And we got so much to talk about here because that's what I've been loving about these shows. Like, especially with The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but even WandaVision, as I'm going back and watch, it's like makes me want to go back and watch the movies again.
And the cool thing about these shows, they are really pandering to the comic book nerds.
Yeah.
If you don't know, certain things, like let's say Isaiah Bradley, for instance, the first Black Captain America.
Right.
Nobody would have known that unless you already read the comics and that whole storyline, or B, you basically read the comics.
Right.
So I mean, there's really no two ways about it because, I mean, again, these shows, like the movies are, they cater to the fans. And I say fans loosely, because you can be a fan of something, but not know everything about it.
Right. Which is me.
Yeah. So like everybody knows the Falcon. Everybody knows the Winter Soldier. Everybody knows the Steve Rogers Captain America. Those are pandering to the fans that know those characters. But when you go into deep mythology, comicology, however you want to say it, like it's awesome to see that kind of stuff in these shows.
Oh yeah.
They might hint to them in the movies, but I mean, like when they brought Isaiah Bradley up, and Battlestar, which is a new Captain America sidekick, I was like, oh, this is cool. I love this.
Yeah,
I like this a lot. And then, they did. I'm not a huge fan of Vision or Scarlet Witch, so some of those things I had to go look up.
But like the thing about like even Scarlet Witch and Vision and just in the movies was now that I've seen the series, like going back and watching the movies and seeing their like how their stuff was playing out, you know, to set all this up, made me care about it a lot more than I did when I first watched it, to be honest.
Right.
Like I didn't really care about Wanda. Like I like Wanda for sure. And I like Vision okay, but like I like Vision a lot more after the show. And I
oh yeah.
and like so their whole thing, like now going back and watch it, because I did after watching episode 3, because there was a lot of callbacks to not the Winter Soldier movie, but the one that Civil War, yeah. So I was like, yeah, I got to go watch Civil War again because we didn't spoil this last week. We kind of kept this as a surprise if you hadn't seen it, but last week's episode ended on another cliffhanger type deal where we see Baron Zemo again.
Mm-hmm.
And so Baron Zemo, who was introduced to us in the movie world in Civil War, yeah. Which I enjoyed him. I'm trying to think, you know, he has always reminded me of like that Elliot kid from E.T.
Yeah.
Once he got older. And I'm like, but I think I've seen him in a lot of other stuff. But Baron Zemo is again another one of these Marvel villains that you're like, you kind of like. You know what I mean? Like when you see him just dancing in the club.
Which was an awesome scene, by the way. I love that scene.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Like it was almost out of place. Like it was almost not necessary, but it was just to kind of show him just chilling. I think, you know, just that was as letting loose as Baron Zemo gets with his little dance move. That's my dance move from now on. But Baron Zemo, like he's also a killer, you know. Mm-hmm. So he's not
cold-blooded killer right there.
He's definitely not like a hero, but he's an anti-hero right now because they're forced to work with him as they're trying to find out who has the super serum, who's behind all that. They're tracking down the
power broker.
The power broker, yeah.
Which is also another comic book, you know, reference as well.
Mm-hmm. And so, it was like another great episode. And you mentioned this last week. I wanted to kind of talk about it again this week, that it is only 6 episodes. Yeah. But they said that total time, it's about the same as WandaVision. It's just that these episodes for Falcon and Winter Soldier are longer. And WandaVision was shorter.
I would say about like maybe 10, 15 minutes longer each.
Which I love. I love because you get a lot in these episodes.
And you know one thing that I hate about all these shows, well, I say all these shows, there's only been 2 of them, is that there's like 10 minutes of credits.
Yeah.
And I know that's kind of normal, but when I see I'm so used to watching something on Netflix or Amazon Prime where it says, 45 minutes of an episode. And it's usually, I would say maybe 42, 43 minutes of an episode.
Yeah.
And then, the rest is credits. I kind of wish it's what they would do with these shows, because what I see, I think the first, the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode was like 54 minutes, somewhere around there. And it actually, I think it only played like 45 minutes, maybe. And I was like, really? Like there could have been so much more story that you could have told.
Yeah.
Like, give me a little bit more.
Yeah.
And one thing that I am not liking about these is there's no like end credit scene.
Yeah.
Like I'm still waiting for something to pop up.
I kind of got over, but Wanda had a couple, not everyone.
Yeah.
So,
right.
But I'm kind of over
sure
having to sit through credits just to see an end scene. Like if it's important, just put it at the end. Because once the credits roll, I'm leaving. I'm going to go use the bathroom or toke up or something. Nah, kid, I'm token during the show. So yeah. I like the continuing dynamic with Bucky and Sam. And again, a lot of callbacks to Civil War, because that's where you saw that starting to develop, because that was when Steve Rogers started, he had Bucky, and Bucky was starting to remember things and all that. So Sam and him.
Yeah.
But then, okay, we see a lot of Sharon too in this episode.
Before we get to that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, because it kind of it happened after that. So yeah, let's get to Sharon. Sorry.
Well, yeah. So Sharon shows up in this episode, helps the guys out, and we remember her from Civil War because Sharon is Peggy Carter's
Granddaughter,
and so like,
wait, no. She's called her Aunt Peggy, so that's her niece.
Oh, is it her niece?
I think so.
Why am I
yeah.
thinking it was her daughter.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that might make it a little less creepy, but it's still weird because when you think about, like, when you go back and put all these things together, right? You remember that in Endgame, Captain America goes back in time to be with Peggy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we remember from Civil War where him and Sharon made out. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, Bucky and Sam are giving him the, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Giggity,
all right.
giggity.
All right. Yeah. So, but isn't that weird?
Yeah. But see, I think, because, once that happens, because I'm pretty sure Marvel was going to be like, yeah, well, we do this time travel thing. And we already know that they already knew Captain America was going to go back to Peggy. And they were probably like, yeah, we're going to have to figure out a way to do this time travel stuff. Because everybody's like, time travel is Terminator and what's that other movie? Back to the Future. So they're like, yeah, we got to make some excuse, because if you remember that the basically you do something in the past, doesn't it affect your present,
right?
Your present
yeah,
day.
Yeah. Like
so
it stems off like an alternate timeline, but the present for those involved would still be the same.
Yeah,
but
and I want.
Oh, hi.
Google. Hey, Google, stop.
Shut up, Google. We're recording.
That scared the ever living mess out of me.
Well, okay, so she's her great niece.
Okay.
But it's still weird to me because now he's her great uncle and they've made out.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I wonder how the conversation went.
You think he told her? You think he told her?
He would have. I mean,
listen,
he's a Boy Scout.
Cards on
He's
the
a Boy
table.
Scout.
I made out with your great niece that you've never met yet. Maybe never.
Right.
We'll meet. Because I was thinking, yeah, she can't be her daughter because, like, unless she had her daughter when she was like 70 or 80. Or no. I guess, what is she sharing now? 30, 40? Somewhere around there. So
probably. Yeah.
Because wouldn't Peggy be like 100 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know. Like, either way, I just think it's kind of creepy. Like, I wonder if they wish they could go back and, like, maybe not have that happen. You know what I mean? Or did they all the time know? Were they always like, okay, Captain America at the end is going to go back? And
I would think so.
What if he was like, what if he was kissing Peggy though? And like, not as good as Sharon. I'm not going to tell her that, but not as good as Sharon.
I mean,
sick. We need to get off this. Okay.
Yeah.
We probably lost everybody. Everybody's like, ugh. But no.
All right.
If you're watching or whatnot, let me know. Cause like, I think it's weird. I think it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, I think probably.
Yeah. Cause then whenever she grows up, let's say the timeline still happens and Sharon Carter is still Sharon Carter. But obviously the new Sharon Carter in that timeline that he went to that didn't happen. Obviously.
Right.
So like that'd feel weird. Cause I mean, obviously when you kiss somebody, you're physically attracted to them.
Right.
So yeah, like that's your niece now.
Mm-hmm.
That's your niece. Like,
yeah. I wonder if, so maybe I don't know. There's too much to.
Anyway, let's move on.
We could talk about this crazy incest stuff all day, and it wouldn't make any sense.
But what was funny is that they called back to the Civil War movie.
Yeah,
where
that's what I'm saying.
Anthony Mackie was in the front seat.
Yeah,
and Bucky was like, "You gonna move up?"
Yeah,
he said no.
Yeah,
and then Anthony Mackie was in Winter Soldier's position when he was in the backseat.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny that they did that.
So Baron Zemo, again, he's back and helping the guys. I'm not so sure. Like, I think he'll probably end up being the villain again before this is all over. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like he's playing them.
Yeah.
I feel like because everybody thought it was somebody different in Civil War. They didn't think it was him, obviously, because this dude is brand new. But I still think he's pulling strings somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and again, like in Civil War, they sort of kind of, because in the comics, he probably wasn't that sympathetic, right? Because his dad was a Nazi and he was still, was he even involved with Hydra? And because in Civil War, I think
in the comics, yes.
Because in Civil War, he's not, because like when he's trying to get information from that guy who was working for Hydra, the one who was had upside down in the sink. He was basically, he made that thing about, Hydra could burn on the pile for all I care. So, they were kind of throwing that in there to like make him seem like, is he sympathetic? Which is, again, that's such a Marvel thing, Magneto, Killmonger, you know what I'm saying? Thanos. Some people even think that Thanos is understandable, for everything that he believed in.
In a sense, I think, you could kind of be like, yeah, he might have been right, but the way that it's just, it's still inhumane.
Well, yeah.
The way that he did it, in the beginning before the Infinity Stones.
Right.
Still kind of inhumane.
Sure. Well, any of it, like he shouldn't be deciding any of this. But,
right.
But at the same, and that's, same with Baron Zemo and all these people, they're killing people and stuff. So that's not good. Even if and that's the other thing is, I would imagine most, I guess, super villains, like, even like if you were to say bad people in real life, not just, but I'm talking about like real bad, but the thing about them and what makes them even scarier is they think they're right. Like, in fact, Spider-Man said that in Civil War. Remember? Because he told Captain America, he goes, Stark said that you believe the wrong thing and that makes you dangerous.
Okay. Yeah. I remember that.
So so that's a lot of these characters in these Marvel universes is I feel like they have like, they don't have like really just evil Joker like villains. They have villains that you kind of like. I kind of like that guy. Dr. Doom. I like Dr. Doom.
I don't.
I just like him though. I mean, I'm not saying he's sympathetic. I just like Dr. Doom. Like, and Magneto. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always like the villains more. Anyway.
Well, see, I think Magneto. Because not to go too off topic, but Magneto and for people that don't know, are basically based off of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr.
Right.
So you do see both sides of the story with that. And
because the thread there is that, one like Charles Xavier, he would prefer to do things peacefully,
Yeah.
Whereas Magneto doesn't mind taking things by force, which the dichotomy between Dr. King and Malcolm X,
Right. But like there's some, really though, I think Marvel does have like more likable villains.
I feel like
than DC does. Although, I mean, Joker is the epitome of a villain. And
sure. But
he is the best.
Yeah. Like Penguin until Gotham was not anybody like you kind of were like, oh, okay. Even like you could kind of feel sorry for the Penguin in Batman Returns, but he's so gross and dastardly that you're like, nah.
Danny DeVito killed that role.
I love him. I wish, if they're bringing back people, bring back Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the thing that I think about that, not being a Marvel Comics guy. That's the kind of thing that like, I feel like is maybe that I think is the norm in the at least the DCEU. I don't know about the comic books if it's like that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I've read Marvel comics, just not many, not as much as DC.
Yeah.
So, but like I say, Killmonger, all those guys, you kind of like, man, I kind of hope you kind of hope maybe Baron Zemo might be a good guy, but I hope he doesn't. I hope he kind of stays kind of, But he also, like that guy who plays him, he looks like kind of like a rich boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. Like, cause Sam was like, you got all this money? Cause like he pulls up with his own plane and been in prison, and it was pretty funny. He's like, well, I am a baron, so. But man, like I say, 3 more episodes to go. That makes me sad, but I love it. I love this show so much. Like, this is good stuff. But
yeah, I would say this is probably like I kind of wish WandaVision kind of started out like that. But I know they had to do what they did for that show. But man, I'd say this is on par with like Civil War for me. Like I really enjoy this show.
It is. And so we had talked about maybe not last week, but maybe the week before that, some of our top Marvel movies, right? Mm-hmm. I can't remember. Did we say Civil War? Because Civil War, I think I like it even better than Winter Soldier because you get more Bucky and all that. And then, I mean, it's just so epic. You get Spider-Man and all the great stuff with, what did he call her? Like when he was talking about how his Aunt May was hot, but
yeah.
but just the interactions between those two cracked me up between Stark and Spider-Man. But then you had Black Panther getting, his introduction and that whole scene where he comes in and chases them down. Yeah. Yeah. Now, okay. So I did want to ask you this because and this is more about Civil War, but when the Black Panther and Bucky are fighting, because he's mad at Bucky, he thinks Bucky killed his dad,
right?
And he was set up by Baron Zemo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he thinks Bucky killed his dad, so that's why he's been after him. So they get in a fight, and there's a fight where Black Panther isn't in his suit. So and that's important to me because he's kicking Bucky's butt a little bit. But to me, like, okay, if you have the suit on, absolutely, I think Black Panther hangs in a fight with Bucky, who has, more than just regular powers. And he has that cool robotic arm.
Yeah.
But so, like, tell me how Black Panther can hang with Bucky, when he doesn't have superpowers like that. Like I say, with the suit, he's unstoppable. He's a badass for sure.
Well, if you remember the heart-shaped herb or flower or whatever it is, that gives him his power. So the suit just is basically a suit.
So he does have some kind of superpower.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that heart-shaped herb is kind of like the made up super soldier serum, but that's kind of basically what it is.
Okay, it's
basically
like
the suit is just the suit is just the enhancement. So his original suit that you saw in Civil War is basically a vibranium suit. So
right, which is why I'm impressed by his suit. Like a lot of people, I'm like, well, the suit's whatever.
Yeah,
but his suit's made of vibranium.
Shuri made. Yeah, so Shuri made the other one to where basically the upgrade to where he could kind of make a mini explosion.
Yeah.
With the kinetic force that the suit absorbs. So I mean it's basically Iron Man kind of.
But he does have some superpower then. Like I remember in the movie, him using don't they because it kills them almost and brings them back, right?
I guess I'm not really sure.
In a way, it was weird, but I didn't know. I didn't really know if that transformed them into like having the super serum type powers. Because if that's the case, then I mean, he's a great fighter. He knows martial arts and
and that too. I mean, he knows several styles of martial arts. So
Yeah.
And then Bucky. Now I'm not sure. All he knows is probably just a regular
Smash.
army. Yeah. Real quick too, because it's funny. You remember? I think it was in the second episode where he jumps out of the plane.
Mhm.
Or was it the first one? Anyway, it don't really matter. But whichever that episode was where he jumped out of the plane, Bucky is the most uncoordinated person on the Avengers team.
Yeah.
You see everybody does like a tuck and roll and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You see in Civil War when he jumps out of the building to the next, he doesn't land on his feet. He lands on his side and he rolls out.
Yeah.
But then you see Captain America run from the same area and lands on his feet and does like a tuck and roll.
So you think that like Bucky's less refined in his training?
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Like he's just so clumsy.
Yeah, I could see that. So yeah, good.
It's just
stuff.
something I picked up on when I was watching the show. Then I went to go back and watch Civil War. I'm like, man, I mean, he's cool and he's strong and fast and yada yada yada. But man, he is so clumsy.
Yeah,
he's like just big old clunk of junk.
And then Sam, we didn't talk much about him on this episode, but he's great. I love him so much.
Anthony Mackie's amazing.
He's
man.
great, and then. He's great in the show, and then when his fight in Civil War with Spider-Man, where they're just he's like, usually there's not that much talking when in these fights and all that. Mm-hmm. He's good. I like him a lot. Like more and more movies I see him in where he's not, it's not the Avengers and all that. I still think he's really good, no matter what he's doing. So, yeah.
I still need to watch his the second season of Alter Carbon.
Oh, is he in that
on Netflix? Yeah, I think he's the main lead in the second season. I
did not know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. One more thing. Carly, the redhead who I spoke of last show, because I like them redheads.
Yeah.
I forgot she was in Solo. Or was it Rogue One? No, it was Solo. It was, remember at the end? Or not maybe at the end, but she was she's basically kind of the same thing she's doing now. She in this show, she's fighting for supplies and whatnot. They were like out in the desert and whatnot. Man, I'll have to send you the picture. I'll pop it up in the edited.
Okay.
But what's her I can't remember her name on the show. It's Carly Montague or not Montague. That's Shakespeare.
Morgenthau?
Yeah, Morgenthau.
Carly Morgenthau?
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume.
I think that's it. Did you look up the picture of her in Solo? You'll recognize her.
That's what I'm trying to right now.
Yeah. So
I don't remember her.
Yeah, once I was reading an article about like how she was in, Disney or the Star Trek, God.
Star Wars.
I feel like Barry's girlfriend right now. What's her name? Iris,
yeah.
Because I've been watching the latest episode and she mixes them up all the time.
Okay. I remember her now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was looking at that and I was like, oh, I do remember her. Yeah. She was cool in that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe she'll get more stuff too, because she's got an interesting character in this one. Because she's trying to, she has the super serum too. Like she's taking it. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool. Everybody's going to be all supered up. You know who doesn't? Sharon. And Sharon was still whipping ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was wreaking havoc.
Since I've been all controversial today, I'll make one more controversial statement.
Oh no.
For all the people who are like, if you don't like Captain Marvel because she's a woman. Nah. I thought Sharon looked more badass than Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Sorry. And she doesn't have superpowers. So.
Also true.
That's my statement. All right, Cameo, you ready to get into some PandemPicks?
Oh, we're not going to talk about Godzilla?
That's what we're going to do.
Oh.
That's my Pandem pick.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because again, the only thing I could really recommend this week is if you're watching these Marvel movies or shows, then go back and watch the movies too. I even went ahead and watched Infinity War last night again. which
Nice.
to me is better than Endgame. So, but different conversation for another time. Let's talk about, okay, so Kong versus Godzilla, Godzilla versus Kong. What's the official one?
Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah. So this just came out, and it came out on HBO Max and in theaters, and it smashed some pandemic anyway movie records. $20 million in like 3 days, I think.
Yeah.
So
That
again,
seems kind of low, but
I mean, nobody's going to the movies right now.
right.
I went and saw Tenet, and that was back before, in last year, I think. And there was hardly anybody there for that one. But I think people were starved to want, because like my buddy Derek, he was like, man, I gotta go see this in IMAX, and I was like, I liked it. I did like it, but I don't know if it was, if I would say that's the one you got to get out and risk getting the corona for.
Right.
Like Mortal Kombat, I'll go watch that one in the theater.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
But so I did stream this the other night. You did too, and I think it was a good movie. A lot of people were like, "Man, this is great. This is awesome." A lot of fight scenes between Godzilla and Kong, and there was like really good fight scenes, like the ones in the city, and there was some terrifying parts of the movie too. When they're fighting on the boat, man. And I don't want to spoil anything, but it is Kong versus Godzilla. They're going to be fighting.
Right.
Now there was the scene
were amazing.
There was the scene where, Kong was like, they're going to kill Martha. And Godzilla's like, wait, what? Why'd you say that name? And, then they were like,
Right.
oh, we're buddies now.
Right.
Spoiler alert. But other than that, it was pretty good.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
I did too. Now, my nephews loved it. Like, they loved it. So, if you got kids, they're going to love this. And they've been watching all the other ones too. And like, there were times, I think during, like between the fights, where I was kind of like, okay, this is whatever. And I'd be looking at my phone or something.
Mm-hmm.
And my nephews be like, Uncle Brad, look. Like they were into it, So they really enjoyed it. So I would definitely recommend it as my Pandem pick. If you haven't watched it yet, watch it with the whole family. It's pretty good, and I didn't see anything that would be a problem for watching it with people who are your nephews or your younger kids or whatnot. My nephews are they're like 5, so if that gives you any. Maybe it might be scarier for anybody younger or something, but my nephews loved it. They loved it. So
yeah.
Anything that you didn't like about it? I feel like it's hard to really like trash or dissect a movie that's just supposed to be like a good popcorn type action movie.
Right.
Yeah. And there was cool stuff in it.
Yeah. I can't. I didn't really watch it for the acting.
Yeah.
So I could care less about them acting.
Yeah.
What I wanted to see were two big titans go at it. And that's what I got.
Yeah.
It was Godzilla versus King Kong and tearing up stuff. Like, I mean, that was now what I'll say this, would I have liked to seen a little bit more of them fighting? Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of wish there was a little bit more of that, but I know people would have been like, well, there was no story. We needed to do some story. No, you didn't. It's like, if they didn't put any actors in there and just had them fighting, I would watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, just plain and simple.
There were some good actors. Brian Tyree Henry. I love him. Anytime he pops up in something, I'm like, cool. Alexander Skarsgård, Eric Northman from the True Blood series. If you watched that, and then
he was also in. I think he was it him? I think he was also in Alter Carbon on Netflix.
And then the girl that's going to send Drake to jail, Millie Bobby Brown. He needs to quit. He needs to quit messaging her, dude. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm with you.
He needs to quit.
Oh, and Millie Bobby Brown's best friend, Fire Fist from Deadpool.
Nice. Yeah. So I did enjoy it. It's good for what it is. It's good for an action movie. Again, like you said, maybe a few more fight scenes. There were a lot, and they were pretty good. I enjoyed all the imagery and stuff, the way it was filmed, and just the CGI and everything looked really good. So, but I guess if you're like looking for a nice dramatic Oscar-worthy movie, that one won't be it. But But right now, it's you need some excitement, and this one's an exciting movie. So that's my Pandem pick. Cameo, you got the rest of the Pandem picks.
Okay, so me and the family watched this. This movie is somewhat old, but it's on Netflix. It's called Yes Day. It has Jennifer Garner in it. It's a cute little like family movie.
I love Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, she's good. But yeah, it's a cute little movie for the whole family to watch. But what I've really been into is Invincible.
Invincible. Oh, you froze up, Cameo. We'll see if we can keep going for a second. Maybe we made it almost the whole show without Cameo freezing up. But since we're on live, I'll keep it going and we'll like edit it out till Cameo joins us because we're almost at the end of the show. He was talking about the show Invincible on Amazon, which is a really, really good show. Robert Kirkman from The Walking Dead. So hold on. We'll see if Cameo's coming back.
Smile and put on a happy face.
Wakanda forever!
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
That was awesome!
Freeze all motor functions.